You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday, happy Mercury Day, and happy birthday to some notable Virgos, including Richard Gere. Let's see. Chris Tucker is a Virgo. Interesting. Van Morrison. Sarah Ramirez from Grey's Anatomy. She's also in the new Sex and the City spinoff. Love her. Anybody else we need to mention? James Coburn, famous actor there, I believe. Yeah, Richard Gere, though. I love that he has Virgo vibes. I get that from him. There's a pure nature to him. And I have to confess to you guys, yesterday I was like, I want to give a special shout out to my friend. I posted on Instagram. I did all this stuff. And then she sent me a text saying, oh, actually my birthday's tomorrow. So today is Jordy's birthday. Happy birthday to her. Has anybody else ever done that where I was so excited. I was so eager to wish her a happy birthday, and I was a day early, but at least it extends her birthday celebration, right? Hello, Corby. Thanks for being here. Hi, Katie. Hi, Rachel. Hope you're having a great day. Hey, BB. Good morning, beautiful human Alex. And happy birthday to Jordy today. Yeah, exactly. So today the moon is moving into Scorpio. Also, it's the last day of August. How is August already over? I'm a September baby, so September is my favorite month of the year, no doubt. But I feel like we just started August. Kind of wild that we're already here. So today the moon moves from Libra to Scorpio, and that's what we'll be talking about. Another day where the moon takes center stage. Of course, the sun is still in Virgo, and actually the moon will be moving into Scorpio while I am live with you all today, which means I will be having my lunar return when I'm live with you all today. I think this is the first time this has happened in the past year that we've been meeting each morning and streaming together. And for those of you who aren't familiar, you have a lunar return every month. So, right, August literally flew by. Anytime the moon comes back to the same position it was in when you were born, you mark a lunar return. So the solar return, our birthday, happens once a year. The lunar return happens every month. And it's not a big major thing, but I like to mark my lunar return, celebrate myself a little bit for the day, and just check in with my emotions since the moon rules our emotions. So that's a fun little tidbit about how you can start working with the moon cycles, especially because you're so tuned in, you're following the transits every day with me. So noticing when the moon comes back to the same position it was in your birth chart, and my moon happens to be at 0 degrees in Scorpio. So every time the moon moves into Scorpio, I'm like, I'm back. I have my lunar return. So let's talk about what happened heading into the Scorpio moon, because we did have one final connection with the Libra moon this morning. And if we pull up our chart, you can see the moon's at the anaretic degree right now. So over the past couple hours, if there was a little tension that came up or a little bit of restless energy, you can thank the moon at the anaretic degree. Nothing major, but you might be feeling just a little bit antsy at the current moment. The moon at the anaretic degree can make it feel like we need to express our emotions or we're ready emotionally to get on to the next thing, right? So the waxing crescent moon in Libra, we've been working with the Libra moon over the past couple of days, really putting the focus on our relationships, how we're showing up emotionally in our relationships with other people, kind of bouncing our emotions off others, and really trying to come back to being centered and keeping the peace with ourselves so we can show up more peacefully in our relationships. That's been the focus. Scorpio moon is a different vibe, and we'll get there in just a second. But before that, at about 3 a.m. Pacific time, when the moon was at 26 degrees, it formed a square to Pluto in Capricorn. So when the moon squares Pluto, there tends to be power struggles. Pluto's intense, so intense emotions can surface very quickly during a square between the moon and Pluto, and we can just have intense moments. That's like the easiest way to put it. And so this morning, with that happening at 3 a.m., most of us were probably still sleeping. Now, it could have brought up intensity in dreams because Pluto is associated with the subconscious, what lies beneath the subterranean, if you will. So you might have had some intensity come up in dreams, or your subconscious trying to tell you things in your dreams. But most of us probably slept through this. However, if you live on the East Coast or even farther east, maybe you woke up feeling like you just need to be in control. Pluto loves control too. So maybe you woke up just kind of feeling that intensity brewing this morning, maybe even more obsessive or compulsive. Pluto is definitely associated with obsession. So if it has been a little bit of a rocky morning so far for you, you can thank Pluto. And this square between the moon and Pluto is a little sneak preview of Scorpio energy, with the moon moving into Scorpio because Pluto rules Scorpio. So it kind of gave us this little taste, this little edge of Scorpio energy. Sun is in your second house today. All money matters. Yeah, well, the sun will be in your second house for a little bit then, and lean into those money matters because the sun is shining light on your values, what's important to you. And coming back to your values when working with money can be a helpful way to not be so stuck in the 3D exchange of currency, more in the energetics of it all. Hello, Denise. Lunar opposition with your natal moon as well. Yeah, it might be a little bit of a difficult day for you, but you got this. You're mindful. You can handle it. Had a dream about Lilith. Okay, yeah, well, that would be the moon squaring Pluto. That totally makes sense, that intense energy. So that was what we felt this morning. And then the moon went void for most of the morning. In fact, the moon is technically void right now because it hasn't made any connections since that square to Pluto. So it's been a nice chill start, or even if there was a little bit of tension popping up this morning, probably won't amount to much. Thank you, void moon, right? So, even if things didn't play out exactly how you wanted them to start your day, the void moon puts a damper on that and makes sure that it's not going to blow up into anything that we don't want it to blow up into. In the same breath, though, if you've been waiting to start something this morning, just wait to start until after 10:15. It's only 10-ish more minutes till the moon moves into Scorpio. So, taking it slow this morning was actually pretty aligned if that was the case for you. Feeling frustrated. Yeah, the void moon is just chill. Just chill. Don't let it blow up into anything. Even if you pop off a little bit, it's not going to be a big deal. So thank you, void moon. Yeah. I have a doctor appointment soon. Once I get out and about, listen to music, I'll be perfect. Scorpio moon, great time to listen to music, to let it shift your energy too. So we're counting down the minutes until the Scorpio moon. This Scorpio moon loves the Scorpio moon. And let's talk about the energy. Once the moon moves into Scorpio, again, this is at 10:11 a.m. So very shortly here, if you're joining me live, we're going to be feeling that Scorpio energy over the next couple of days. Scorpio is the deepest, darkest, most mysterious, intense sign of the zodiac. Really touching on what we just talked about with Pluto. Pluto rules Scorpio again. So we're playing into that energy. And when the moon is in Scorpio, we crave intimacy, we crave vulnerability, we crave deeper connections with people, not just on a physical level, but on a deeply emotional level. Like our souls need to connect under the Scorpio moon, which can be intense, right? Definitely an intense vibe. Maribel says, I was so lazy this morning. It's the void moon. The energy will pick up very shortly. I had a very healing conversation with my friend, learned a new perspective, beautiful way to lean into that Libra energy. So Pluto, yeah, Pluto can be transformative too. I love that you brought this up because that square to Pluto can be an activating moment of transformation. So yes, deep emotions can surface. It can be intense, but it can also be like coming up to be like, hey, it's time to change in this area. It's time to transform this part of your life or this emotion that's coming up that's kind of been hiding in the shadows. Pluto's like, hey, it's coming up so we can transform it, so we can alchemize it. Okay, so the Scorpio moon, though, is a great way to kind of compound on that moment of transformation you had this morning, to stay in the depths, to get really intimate with yourself, to go a little bit deeper even, and get to the truth of it, get to the bottom of it. Scorpio energy is like this bottomless pit. We just want to keep going deeper. We know there's more to be excavated and dug up. And that's why it can be associated with obsession, with intensity, with control, with power, right? Because it's not like Jupiter energy of like more. It's like deeper, you know? So when the moon is in Scorpio, we crave deep connections. We don't want to lose control in the process, though. We want to be in control of the depth, which is an interesting dynamic, right? And remember, Scorpio is associated with death and rebirth, being ruled by Pluto. So going deep allows us to burn down the old, to make room for the new. And that's going to be kind of a theme today. Not in a super intense way, but you'll see when we get to the only connection the moon is making, it's kind of an opportunity to get intimate with ourselves and potentially correct course, shift gears just a little bit. So the next few days with the moon in Scorpio in general, it's like anything unresolved, anything you've been repressing or denying, it's time to get honest with yourself, get to the bottom of it, and be willing to transform anything that's unwanted, anything that needs to die, let it die. But again, that comes with facing your own truths. Okay, so here's the interesting connection we're talking about today. And I've never talked about this on the live stream before, so I'm actually excited. I did a little astrological research for you all this morning. So before I explain what it is, let me see if I can get it to play out on the chart. This will be happening at 10 p.m. tonight. Let's see. Where's the moon? 6 degrees. Okay, we can kind of see it. I don't know if the chart is going to fully show what I want it to show. We'll see. Hold on. We need to go back a little bit. We're tap dancing here. We are working with it. Okay, I don't think it's going to show exactly what I want it to show, but that's okay. We can use our imagination. So at about 10 p.m., the moon doesn't make any other like normal connections that we talk about today. We're going to get into like a little bit more of an involved aspect. Scorpio rising and Scorpio Venus here. It's the depth for me. Yeah. In relationships, you're like, we need to be connected on a soul level. And I'm not going to show you my soul until I'm comfortable with you. But once I do, you're getting all of it, baby. Right? The Scorpio moon should be nice for you too. The moon moving into your first house, conjunct Venus. You probably love a Scorpio moon. I'm anxious for the new, so done with the old, but I know it's not my timing to control. Ooh, so beautiful. Perfect energy to head into this Scorpio moon with. I realized I have this deep-rooted fear of being alone, and she asked if I felt that I was loved. She brought up that when people compliment me, I picture myself receiving that love through energy. What a wonderful friend. What a blessing to have this person in your life, to be such a beautiful mirror for you. And no coincidence that you had that conversation with someone during the Libra moon squaring Pluto, like really forcing this transformation. Yeah, new stuff. Okay, so Yes, there's a T-square here with Lilith, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a yod, okay? What is a yod? You're like, what? Okay, so I'm going to explain this. At about 10 p.m., the moon at 6 degrees forms a quincunx, or an inconjunct angle, to Jupiter. We used to talk about these angles all the time, but I stopped bringing them up as much because it was too nitty-gritty. It was too convoluted. We wanted to focus on like the major energy we were feeling of the day. And a quincunx, or an inconjunct angle, just to review, it's a 150-degree angle. And so, for example, the Scorpio moon and Jupiter in Aries, they don't have anything in common, these planets right now. The Scorpio moon is a water sign and it's a fixed sign, and Jupiter in Aries, it's in a fire sign and a cardinal sign. So they don't have anything in common, which is why this can be an awkward angle. It's like these two planets are trying to find common ground, making adjustments, really just like kind of playing this dance of like, how do we work together, right? So that's what a quincunx, or also called an inconjunct angle, is in astrology. And it really asks us, what adjustments do we need to make to find common ground, to move forward? So you can see the moon in Scorpio makes that angle to Jupiter. And like I said, it's a minor angle, so this chart doesn't even like show it. But you can use your imagination, that nice little inconjunct angle. And then at the same time, the Scorpio moon makes that same angle to Mars in Gemini. Same situation. Gemini is a mutable sign and an air sign. The moon is in a water sign and a fixed sign. So they don't have anything in common. However, this is something we'll talk about tomorrow as it becomes exact. Jupiter and Mars are coming into a sextile. So Jupiter, the planet of abundance, optimism, more is more, is supporting Mars, the planet of action and motivation. We should have plenty of energy, and that energy is picking up as Mars and Jupiter are coming into this supportive connection with one another. It's like the fire and the air with Jupiter and Aries, Mars and Gemini, they're fanning the flames. The energy is building, right? But the moon becomes the focal point here because it's connecting with both of them in this awkward way. And so if you can imagine a nice little isosceles triangle playing out here, this is called a yod in astrology, where the moon here in Scorpio becomes the focal point, or the most important point that we talk about within this yod. Such a fun name. A yod is also referred to as the finger of God. So I don't really know why it gets that name, because I don't really see it having like an association with the finger of God, but just a fun little fact, a little astrology fact for you. So how do we work with this yod? Well, it's like the Scorpio moon wants us to go deep. And, both Mars and Jupiter just want us to move forward. They want us to keep going, be optimistic, try all the things with Mars and Gemini. Like, just go, 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 do, right? That's kind of the vibe of this sextile between Mars and Jupiter. And speaking of which, the moon is now in Scorpio. Yay! Okay, just a side note. Actually, let's see it on our chart. Let's see. Where is she? 0 degrees. We're having our lunar return. Hello. Okay. Moon is in Scorpio now. So we're going to start feeling in the next couple hours this yod playing out. So we'll keep it here. You can imagine this isosceles triangle. It's like the Scorpio moon, again, wants us to go deeper, wants us to get in touch with our deeper motivations, but Mars and Jupiter are just like, keep moving forward, it's going to be fine. So this aspect I see as an opportunity late tonight, and as the evening gets a little bit later, to correct course, to tune into what's really important to us, get to the bottom of things, get to the truth of things, and ask ourselves what changes, or even just minor adjustments, because quincunxes don't ask for major change. It's just like, how do we work together here? What minor adjustments can you make so that your actions you're taking in the coming days, with a lot of Mars activation and Jupiter activation coming up, what adjustments can you make so that those moves, those actions are more aligned with your truth, with your deepest motivations? You know, Mars in Gemini and Jupiter in Aries just want us to make quick moves. But the Scorpio moon is like, wait. Like, let's slow down and make sure that we're in control and that whatever we're doing aligns with our deepest truth, our truest self, if you will. So this can be a bit of a disruptive transit. I've seen some astrologers talk about, like, I don't see it being super surprising, but just something could come up this evening that forces you to kind of course correct or make those adjustments, that brings the adjustments you need to make into the forefront, into your awareness. So just keep that in mind. I don't see this as super disruptive or problematic by any means, but this is just an opportunity to, and you know what? I want to go back for a second. I don't see it being like surprising, but there could be some irritations that come up tonight during this, right? Like, we want to be optimistic, but the moon is quincunx Jupiter, and it's like we can't quite reach for that optimism easily. We want to move forward, but the moon is quincunx Mars, and it's like we can't quite align with the action we want to take. And that can be kind of frustrating or irritating. But in that moment of agitation, especially with the Scorpio moon, like, that is your signal, the light bulb going off, being like, why am I irritated right now? What's the problem? Let's get to the truth of it. Let's get intimate with ourselves. So just know, if any irritation comes up tonight, it's just the universe asking you, hey, what shifts should we be making here so we can move forward in a way that feels more aligned? So that's a yod. We don't talk about it very often, but just a fun little astrology lesson for you, and something I learned a little bit more about today as well. And yes, it can be fated or karmic, the yod. And I think that's where the term finger of God comes in, because, like, I think the fated element comes in with whatever causes an irritation, right? So, you know, if you notice even just something random today that's like kind of put in your path and makes you walk around it, like, it could be just something minor like that. But notice with this yod and the Scorpio moon being the focal point, is the universe asking you to be real with yourself, be honest with yourself, get to the truth of something with this yod and the moon in Scorpio. Yeah. And interest, and like I said, we don't really talk about quincunxes anymore because they're just kind of this transitional aspect, right? Getting from one aspect to the next. The quincunx is like the in-between, that awkwardness. So generally I don't bring them up, but because the Scorpio moon's not making any other connections today and these quincunxes are forming the yod, I'm like, this actually is something that we could use. Oh yeah, and if you have it in your chart, I've read that it could bring up some like unexpected challenges in your life. A rectangle, that's a whole other thing because there's two sextiles and then two quincunxes. So it's like those two sextiles are kind of playing off each other in a way, right? I'm assuming that's what the rectangle means. So I would focus more on the sextiles and those areas supporting each other, and then how they're not quite finding common ground with each other, and how probably those two areas of her life are probably playing a little bit of back and forth quite a bit. Yay, Scorpio moon. Yes. Scorpio moons, I draw them in. We have a club here of the Scorpio moons, right? Your progressed moon is in Scorpio right now. Mine is too. So you're also having your progressed moon return, or I am as well, but you're having your progressed moon return. So it might feel like a little shift for you today, which is nice. Oh, it shifts in April. Okay. Yes, definitely a good day for reflection. Great day to just reflect what's truly important to you. What have you been hiding in the shadows with the Scorpio moon? What have you been just kind of pushing down and ignoring? Those irritations could pop up today to show you, oh, I've been ignoring this thing. And that could be the magic of the yod for you, you know, like, okay, I can't ignore these irritations anymore. What adjustments do I need to make so I'm really being authentic and true to myself moving forward? Yeah, fun little aspect to learn about. I'll be asleep. I feel another insightful healing dream coming through tonight. Call it in. Call it in. And it's important to remember too, yes, 10 p.m. Pacific time, you might be asleep, but these are the only connections the Scorpio moon is making today. So even as the evening goes on for you, you might start to feel that. It could pop up a little earlier, a little later, right? Because when we talk about aspects in astrology, I know the moon moves so quickly, but there's usually like a 5-degree orb we're working with. So it might be that, you know, irritations pop up this afternoon for some of us and kind of show us. And then maybe even, Corby, if you get a little irritated this evening or something comes up for you this evening that prompts that reflection, that you work through it in your subconscious state, in your dreams under the Scorpio moon as well. And also, I feel called to tell you, like, intuition plays into this. Where have you been ignoring your intuition? The moon in Scorpio is like, hey, you know, like, really tune in to those abilities. Scorpio is associated with energy work, psychic abilities, magic. So where maybe you've been ignoring your intuition. Again, these irritations could be showing you, or anything that comes up today could be showing you where you've been maybe neglecting your intuition a little bit. I love that you're here. Right. It really depends on the degrees through your chart. Absolutely. Every chart is so different. And, you know, it's hard to say, like, this is what this means, because it depends on the houses. It depends on the degrees. It depends on the planets. There are so many factors. And that's why it's great to start to get to know your birth chart more intimately and the people you love's birth charts more intimately, so that when we're talking about these things, you're like, oh, this is how it's going to play out in my life. And again, I've teased this for a long time, but my goal by the end of the year is to have some sort of container for us all to get a little bit more familiar about how to apply the transits we talk about every day to our own charts. So stay tuned for that. Not sure when it's coming, but I'm manifesting it coming by the end of the year. Yeah, your mom's a Scorpio, need to learn her chart. So she'll have like a little new moon moment probably if the Scorpio moon passes over her sun, kind of having this like little moment of like, oh, this is me. This is who I am. This is who I'm becoming, you know, or this is what I want in the next chapter, getting to the truth of it. I'm still learning progress stuff as well. Always learning. Astrology, I think you could study it every moment of every day for the rest of your life and still not learn all of it. There's so much to learn. There are calculators for your progressed moon, and it's dependent on like the year you're in. It changes every, I think, 1.5 years. So it depends on your age mostly. But AstroSeek, the website I use here every morning, they have a progressed moon calculator that you can just Google. Read about it last night. Look at, so aligned. Astrology has so many layers. I have so much deep gratitude and feels right now. Haven't been paying attention to the transits. Makes sense with the moon. And another Scorpio moon joining us. The moon is in Scorpio now. So you're probably like feeling yourself having that emotional return, right? Starting to paint today. Scorpio moon is a great day to be creative. Very deep dreams tonight. Call them in if you want those deep dreams. Scorpio moon is a great time. Sending you lots of love, Court. Beautiful. I'm so grateful that we've connected through this community. Yes, it's still playing out in my head how we're going to do this, but it'll be a fun thing to do together. So, like I said, stay tuned. I'm dreaming it up. Definitely not until like November, December, but it's coming. It's coming. I want to do it. Let's see. I've been really focused on learning, and keep learning. Stay open to learning. The information you need to know will come to you when you need to know it. That is my mantra. I can tell the moon is in Scorpio. It just moved into Scorpio, okay? It was at the anaretic degree this morning of Libra. So again, the anaretic degree, not my favorite degree. It makes us a little antsy and jumpy, a little intense heading into Scorpio as well. And we're heading to Vegas tomorrow. Great energy for the Scorpio moon. Super excited. Okay, let's move on to our affirmation of the day. I'm willing to make adjustments. Perfect for this yod playing out. Just being open to anything that pops up that's asking us to adjust, to correct course a little bit, to get more intimate with ourselves, being willing to make adjustments. And that's really all we need to do. All we have to do is be open, especially when the moon is in a fixed sign like Scorpio. We can get really like, this is what we want. This is how it is. Very fixed energy. So just being open to shift, change, evolve just a little bit will definitely help you work with the energy. And speaking of the Yod and the Scorpio moon, we're going to pull from the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck by Stacey DeMarco today to finish out our morning chat. I'm so excited. Actually, my partner and I have never been to Las Vegas together, so it should be a fun trip. And as I've told you all, we're going to see Shania Twain, so it's going to be a fantastic time. I'm so excited. Great way to kick off September, kick off my birthday month. I'm sure I'll be sharing lots of stuff on social media too. I've just decided I'm going to be really extra this September. Like, I'm just doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going big. It's my last year in my 20s. So we're going crazy. Maybe not crazy, but this Virgo is going to be a little bit less reserved this Virgo season. I will definitely be safe. Thank you. Thank you. This challenges me in the best way. Yeah. I'm assuming we're talking about the Yod, but yes. And the Scorpio moon, just like being willing to make those small adjustments. Correct course. Especially during Virgo season too. It's like we have a plan and we want to stick to it. But today you might notice that there could be a few snags to your plan that are like forcing you in a new direction. And the last thing we can say about this Yod is just trust. Trust that the universe is showing you what adjustments you need to make. Trust that whatever is coming up for a reason right now, because that's really the ultimate practice of astrology, right? Is trusting the universe, trusting the messages the planets are sending us every day. So whatever comes up, just trust that it's supposed to happen and it's here to show you something. Go all out. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. We're going big. And the affirmation, yeah, willing to make adjustments, being willing. It's all it takes is just a little bit of willingness. Oh, she's going to have so much fun too. Orange County for an anime thing. Probably Comic-Con. Is she going to Comic-Con? Either way, it's probably going to be so fun for her. And, you know, you might be feeling a little bit of that like anxiety you're trying to control, like your baby is off on her own for a little bit, but how can you course correct, make adjustments emotionally to better handle the situation for yourself? I would have never had the balls for that at 21. And what a beautiful thing that you have this like independent, free-spirited daughter, right? Love that. I will be going live tomorrow, but I won't be live on Friday. I should have something pre-recorded for you though. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's do our tarot pull. Here we go. Everybody who's joining me live, let's just take a deep breath together. Breathe in and release. What do we need to know? Trust. Trust. That's what came up as we were just talking about trusting that whatever adjustments you need to be making will be shown to you. The universe will give you an opportunity to make those adjustments. So here's what the card says about trust. The egg moon. Trust yourself. Develop self-trust and joy will follow. You can rely on your own capabilities. Begin to plan carefully for the future. It's the beginning, and I trust myself in all things. Apart from the trust we might develop spiritually with our higher power, self-trust is the basis of all other trust. Self-trust is a surety that we can rely upon ourselves, that our decisions are valid, that we ourselves matter, that knowing ourselves combined with trusting ourselves leads to better, more informed decisions about all aspects of our life, including career and relationships. Self-trust is far more than a flashy show of confidence. It is deeper and farther reaching than that. It is security at the very core, that no matter what, our wisdom matters and it is best. It allows for flow and for faith in oneself and the way you do things, moving and choosing in the world. Self-trust is a full acceptance of self. As accepting oneself becomes easier, thus self-trust will begin to shine. This gives great momentum to anything we choose to tackle or do. Our ancestors saw spring, the great thawing, as a new beginning. They would walk the marshes and plains and find newly laid eggs. More than just a symbol of fertility and new hope, the eggs meant that the worst of the cold was over and the new life was really here. The egg moon was a time of celebration and rejoicing. Trusting ourselves. And we can't fully trust ourselves if we don't get intimate and real with ourselves, right? And so that's really the theme of the Scorpio moon. Trust that whatever's coming up why can't I talk right now? Trust that whatever is coming up today, oh my goodness, is here to show you something. Trust in your own ability to handle any irritations, any surprises, anything that comes across your path today. Trust yourself, and that trust of the universe will flow very easily to you. So just a reminder, stay in trust today. And just beautiful confirmation of everything we talked about with the Scorpio moon. And don't expect anything crazy to happen. Even though we talked about a yacht, I don't think it's going to be a super disruptive thing. Again, it's probably going to be something minor, something little that pops up today that maybe shifts your perspective or forces you to go a little deeper. Perfect card for the Scorpio moon. Life can be so confusing, but trusting ourselves is the best way through. And that's really all we have, right? Like, truly, we can't control anyone else. We can't manipulate anyone else's trust of us. We can trust other people, right? But we don't always know what's going on with other people. So really just trusting our own ability. And this is coming up too with the Scorpio moon. Trusting our ability to react in a healthy way to whatever comes up, right? The Scorpio moon can be very reactionary. So trusting in our ability to handle whatever comes up, and not just handle it, but learn from it and get more intimate with ourselves because of it, and find deeper truths in maybe the chaos or confusion or surprises or irritations. So glad this card resonated for you. Such a recurring theme, learning to open my heart more to loving myself every day. And you already do. You're already there. And so it is. Trust in your self-love. Trust in your own abilities, because you are here for a reason. You are literally here listening to this for a reason right now, but you're also here on earth at this time for a reason, and you have so much to offer and so much to give. So trust in your own power as well under the Scorpio moon. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode of Transits Today. Tomorrow, we have some fun transits to talk about. We'll be diving into that sextile between Mars and Jupiter and breaking down the square between Lilith and Chiron that we've been feeling. So all that, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but if you're feeling a little sassier, a little bitchier, a little bit more triggered, Lilith and Chiron have been playing into that. So we'll break that down tomorrow. And as I mentioned to Rachel, I'll have a recorded video ready to go for you. I might stream live actually on Friday morning, but I won't be live after tomorrow morning. So join me tomorrow if you want a live chat. But as always, I will have guidance for you. Don't you worry. If you're feeling confused, I got you. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for me. Looking for the lesson and where I can make necessary adjustments. Perfect way to sum up today's transits. Thank you, Corby. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. Thank you for showing up for this beautiful community we're creating together. I love you all. I hope you have the most beautiful Wednesday, a beautiful Mercury day, a beautiful final day of August. And I will see you in September. But until I see you next, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and to support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.